My goodness. That was fast. Were you guys already here? Were you waiting because you knew I'd be going live at around this time? Like, that was like instant. Cody Wolf with first, which was like as the notification went live. Chooch, checking it, go boom, Diggly, Gar, hello, oof, hello, Kermie, J, welcome in, RJ, just jacked. How's everybody doing? Man, you guys, welcome. I'm kind of blown away by that. I guess this is like the one time I'm kind of scheduled, right? I'll not be coming on today. Okay. What's up? Hello. Oh, that changed. Right. I changed the name of that. Here we are. Kind of low key forgot I got an exam. Ooh, yeah. Focus on the exam. Get that. Make sure you're ready. Hello, RJ. How you doing? Dude, we need you. No, school. School first. All other things after. Well, health first. Health is key. And then education. And then Minecraft. Go boom with a 65 stream watch streak. That is insane behavior, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I often say stream streaks in other channels I'm impressed by, but in my channel it's especially because I play all kinds of crazy stuff, and that 65, Chooch, close enough. Thanks for the bits. Yeah, I stream all sorts of different things at all sorts of different days and times, and so for you guys to be able to keep up a watch streak of that magnitude is wild to me. And I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you, Mooney. Hello, welcome in. And we're on the Minecraft server. Array, hello. It is time for Player of the Week. Let's say hello to our players. Hey, speaking of watch streaks, there's Chooch with a 20 stream watch streak. Currently I can't hug back. It won't complete. How is that not completing your name? What the heck is not online? Okay. All right. Well, whatever. Kermie has made his return. Yes. Good to have you back after your Game Pass fiasco. Something happening? Player of the week. So you see what happened there? It went to lowercase, even though I put uppercase. In my plugin, I wrote in a special thingamajiggy. So notifications show up in with a little white bar that says it cannot be reported. That means that it's from the server itself. Everybody else is all the regular, but then this one is kind of grayed out because it's been modified. So it's still the message, but you can see what it was originally supposed to be, which is capitalized. And so it puts a little question mark beside it and puts that. So if ever you're wondering, if ever you go to a Minecraft server, Jack, welcome in. This is for your safety, by the way. I want you guys to be aware of this. If you go to a Minecraft server and you see the chats like this, and you see where it says where it shows this little bar on the side here, if it's no bar, that means that your chat messages are secure. It means nobody's tampering with it. But if you see them with a little gray box beside it, put your mouse over that. Do yourself a favor, put your mouse over and see what happened, because that means that the server modified it in some way. So if you see people's messages and it has that little gray box, it's worth taking a look to see, because not all server owners are, as honest as they should be. So that's your warning, your security warning for you. If you go onto servers and chat with people, keep an eye out for that next to your chat messages. So you see messages, those are not secure. So they got the white and it can't be reported. Means that it's not secure. It means that it could be modified by the server and you would never know. As long as you have it though. Why is there here I have why is there here I have audio? I don't know. Should you not have audio? How is the audio, by the way? I set up some things in OBS that should make it so that you hear the music in the game and stuff, but when I start talking, it'll get a little bit quieter. So hopefully that's working. Hello, sons. Father, I'm writing a book, a day of journals. See, I can see that. GG on getting first, sons. As always, audio's fine. Good. Then no, it's not. I don't think. Well, so long as the audio is fine, you might not even be able to detect it, but if you can hear me okay over top of the music's quite loud. It should be getting quieter, but we'll turn it down anyway. Just to make sure we don't want... Yeah, no, it is working. I can see it visually. When I speak, it goes real quiet. And now it's going to get quieter because I'm speaking. I can see it working. You might not hear it, but it is working. It might be loud when I'm not talking. It might just be because I'm hard of hearing. I mean, that's valid. Wait, that's a genius way of communicating. Yeah. At some point today, can I get my items? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. River, thank you for checking in. I have some good and bad news. Yesterday, there was a griefer I saw, and they have been spoken to. Well, they're going to be spoken to. We tried to speak to them, and they left. So we'll be speaking to them. But yeah, don't worry. The important thing is not to panic. Like, we have systems in place to prevent most situations like that, but we can't prevent every single thing. But that's why we have other systems, so that if anything ever does happen, we can undo it pretty quickly and pretty easily. So don't panic. Just let us know. We'll take care of it. You'll be good to go. Sons, hope you're doing well. Mooney, I hope you are as well. I know you guys are watching other streams and doing other things, so I appreciate you popping in. I'll never allow stairs next to my area. That's the thing, is it's really hard to not, like, you protect your base, but you can't protect everything. So unfortunately, people can do stuff outside of your protection, and you just have to do the best you can with it. But like I said, we can undo whatever damage may be done. You want to guess what my map art is gonna be? But we are on for Player of the Week. Every single week we do Player of the Week, and we announce one lucky player who will get a few extra credits to use in the store. I also want to show you something that I have been working on. Let me see. I just want to... What does the notes mean? So a lot of times we have players that are part of a family, or they know each other, like they're friends in real life. Maybe somebody joined and they want their friend to join with them, and so they join. So we just make in-game notes, and when the person joins, we can very quickly check those notes. And that way, like, let's say you join today and you tell me that another player is your mom. And so I go and add a note. I add a note to you and I add a note to them. And I say, this person's their son, this person's their mom. But then I'm done for the day, and another admin comes on later and they see you come on, and you guys start talking to each other, and you're talking about, like, in real life stuff, like let's meet up at the mall or something. It helps that admin to know that they can check the notes and they can see that you guys are related and everything's fine, and you're not trying to, like, you know, meet children in strange places and stuff. This way, we just have notes in game. We don't have to go to Discord or forums or go searching through all of our notes for thousands and thousands of people. We can just very quickly look it up. Huh. Voided. Hello, hello, welcome in. Wait, you just followed? Haven't you followed before? Gonna be a creeper? Oh, nice. That must be his toe, his little bottom corner of his face there. Johnny messaged me a little bit ago and asked if I wanted to see what they're working on. There's Kermie. Kermie, we will get you your stuff. Oh, and now I'm here. Gotta be careful when I'm clicking. Father, I'm writing a book a day of journals. This will keep going till this library is full. Once full, I'll add a new section for the books. The shelves right now can fit almost 2 years. Yeah. Beautiful. Hello, Weflin. Hey, I followed you on other socials for years, but didn't know you were streaming too. Yeah, I was going to say, I know you. That's unusual that you'd be following. I thought you would already were, but yeah, that makes sense. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. This is a thing, I think. 5 stream streak from Suns. Yep, that's a thing. How you doing, Weflin? Ozeron, welcome in. Welcome in. BRB, all my Autcraft players are here. It's good to see. I love to see my community come together on Saturdays or anytime. Rebuilt my base in Peaceful. I'm doing good. I'm building on my beach. Nice. Tall grass, man. All right. Tea time. Noon. Tea weather. Sun. A little bit cheaty. Everybody else, that's just for personal, by the way. Personal time, personal weather, so I can modify it to see how I want to see. How do you change the weather? I change the weather for me. You can change the weather for you with Patreon. Congrats on admin rank. Thanks. I'm too broke for Patreon. Congrats on non-owner rank. I like this. I love the cherry blossom wood. It is just so adorable just seeing these houses. I really like the style with the cutout window here. Very modern, very chic. Very cool. I have $5. You know what? That's all you need for a slice of pizza. And all these heads. Oh, look at this. Handsome. Easter eggs. Nice. I have a lot of kitty cat. Got a Jeb cat. Kit cat. And a Jeb. See the collar changing? Meow. Building this beach for an hour in total, I think it's pretty good. You will have a name so you don't despawn. Don't despawn. Those are good names. That's a bumblebee autism father. Back from Chan. Hey autism father, let me know if you would like to see my volcano island. Why? Why do I need to read your messages in 2 different chats? Oh, Casey Ash has joined the AI channel. Did you guys know? Fun fact for you guys. Did you know that Autcraft was the first Minecraft server to have ChatGPT integrated? In case you missed one, I suppose. That would make sense if the messages were in both. ChatGPT is in Autcraft. Yeah, we were the first. While a lot of people were trying to figure out how to make villagers or mobs or whatever use it, I went straight to having it integrated. So if you do Chan join AI, it does a little sound notification, and then it says, "Hello, welcome to Autcraft. I'm here to help you." So I prompted ChatGPT in Autcraft to believe that it is Autcraft. So it uses the information that it can find in the TED Talk, in the Wikipedia page, in our news articles, all the stuff that's online. It uses all that stuff, and then it believes that it is the server. When was Autcraft started? And it does a ping, and then it reaches out to ChatGPT, and it comes back, and it says Autcraft was started on June 23rd. Been here ever since. Been a safe and fun place for players just like you. See? You've talked to ChatGPT about Autcraft before? Can I ask what happened to griefers in AC? Mostly we just talk to them, find out why they did what they did and what their intentions were, and help them to understand why they shouldn't do that anymore. A lot of times, a griefer isn't really a griefer. It's just a child who doesn't know any better. They're just doing stuff that they saw on YouTube. They don't mean any harm. They just think that that's what Minecraft is and it's fun. What did you prompt it to call itself Bessie? No, I did not. That was a term that was affectionately called added to the server or given to the server by players like I think it was 2015, 2016. People started calling the server Bessie for some reason, and it just sort of stuck and made its way online in wiki pages and stuff. And yeah, all right, we're gonna tell the AI to have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. There we go. I'm not mad at the griefer. Good. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, so not every single time, but 9 times out of 10, it's usually somebody who just doesn't know any better, and we talk to them and find out. If we talk to them and find out that they do know better and that was their intention, then they can't stay. But a lot of times we just help them to learn better, to do better, to understand why what they did was wrong and how it affects other people and what they should do instead. And most of the time they understand and they do better. That looks painful. So we added something new. We're going to talk about at Player of the Week. But if you remember how we made it so that you can attach items to a surface, well, now you can attach the text displays as well. I only come on Autcraft to grief my own base. Yeah, I think that's called building, sons. Feel sorry for the griefer now. You know, a lot of times it's children that were manipulated or influenced or just they were shown this stuff and convinced that it was the fun thing to do, and so they come onto a server like this and they do it because they think that it's going to make them popular. I think I'm doing griefing wrong. Yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, you do it however you want, but over at the pale tree in front of the train, I think there's a misplaced trapdoor. Famous living human. We were just at your base. Hi, chicken. Let's go take a look. Thank you so much for following. Okay. Pale tree. Where am I looking? Are you here? Where are you? Ah, see you. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a little out of place. That's a little weird. Wonder why. I did not place this, so I'll have to ask my team. Hi, random people. I'm glad I started playing on servers in the Stampy Fun Builds era. Yeah. Yeah, griefing got really wild. But thank you for letting me know. I will definitely have to bring this up with the others and see if this is supposed to be here. They may have had a plan for it. It may be like something like this, but I don't know. So I'm not going to just boop it. I'm going to leave it, but I will ask. Welcome in, Famous Living Human. Famous Living Human, by the way, has the YouTube rank on the server, which means that they can share their YouTube links in the chat and get people to go and check out their awesome videos. Anyway, let's go back because I wanted to show you this. We're going to talk about it at Player of the Week, but I can show you guys here. No, naughty. That's terrible. Hello, Kahoov. How was your birthday? Everybody, Kahoov's a birthday girl. It was her birthday this weekend. I guess technically can be considered. Kermie, you don't have to teleport to me. It's a warp. It's warp Player of the Week. I do a lot of mistakes in the chat in AC. How do I stop doing those mistakes? I couldn't tell you. I do a lot of mistakes too. Party Pro, this is what I do. Like I gave a good example just a moment ago when I went to say goodbye to the AI. I wrote like I can't even do it now. Or that I wrote like all right like that. Got some tacos and went to bed early. I mean, going to bed early is so underrated. I applaud you. That's a great birthday thing to do. So, Party Pro. All right, gotta go. So let's say I wrote that. The key to getting your messages right and not making those mistakes is be okay with making the mistakes, but be okay with checking it before you press enter. So I am looking at my message right now. I could press enter and go, oops, I spelled that wrong. Or I can go back and go, all right, gotta, nope, gotta go. There. Now I press enter and now it's sent. Take that extra second to read what you wrote. And if you see a mistake before you press enter, fix the mistake and then press enter. You should see how bad my typing is. Yeah, I'll give you one piece of advice. Very, very few people spell things right and get things right and have no typos in their messages online. Very, very few. What most people do when you think that they're doing really, really well and they write really well is they're taking one extra second to read what they wrote and going back and fixing it. I offered to sing you happy birthday last night on stream, but I think you did. Yeah, she was already gone. That's okay. You can sing happy birthday next time. Becca Hoove, I'm glad you had a good birthday. Tacos and to bed early sounds heavenly to me, honestly. I never have typos. What are you talking about? Sons, by the way, is I guess you could call it your profession, Sons, at this point. Sons is like a professional editor. Yeah, he helps to proofread and edit books and stuff for authors. So that's a good reminder. By the way, that was my big wake up call, was learning that authors have editors. I'm not gonna the quick brown fox jumped over a lazy dog turns into, yeah, I'm not reading that part. But anytime you feel bad about your writing or your English skills or your typos or any of that stuff, Party Pro, if you're still listening, and for anybody, when you start to feel bad about getting your typing wrong or your writing wrong or even your English wrong, remember authors have editors. Professional writers who make millions and millions of dollars from their books still have editors because they need them, because they're going to have mistakes and things wrong. They're going to use bad grammar, poor grammar. They're going to use poor grammar. See, they're going to use poor grammar, and they're not going to write well. They need us. They do. If authors just free-handed, like if they just wrote a book and released it to the public, ooh, why can't authors fix their own grammar? They I mean, a lot of times they do. They do their best, but authors miss a lot, especially in their own stuff. Authors authors will find a lot of issues with other people's writing, but when it comes to your own, yeah, it's easy to overlook your own mistakes. Exactly. You can reread your own book 500 times and you're still going to miss stuff because it's yours. You need an editor. They usually go multiple passes. Yeah, so there'll be a rough draft, a second draft, a third draft, a fourth draft, a final draft. It'll go through many iterations before what you get in your hand in a bookstore is the real thing. And even then, there's still books that come out. I see Soulfire vanish. Can you teleport me to the place I was before I teleported to you? No. I don't know where you were, Kermie. Spawn? I was at Spawn, Kermie. And now I'm at Player of the Week. I'm going to sit around to see if my Hazer logic missed anything during Play of the... Okay. Speaking of typos. Sounds exhausting. Well, I mean, that's the life of an author, right? But that's life. Anyway, the point is, Party Pro, and for anybody, don't feel bad about typos. Don't feel bad about spelling things wrong. Don't feel bad about the chat mod. Okay. Don't feel bad about your writing. Honest. All the best you can do, and this is again my advice, is before you press enter, just go back and reread what you wrote and fix it up as best you can and send that off into chat. And if it still has mistakes, if people can read it, it's good enough. Hello, Zeddy. Hello, Nords. Welcome in. If an author spots 9 out of 10 mistakes, then in a book with 100 mistakes, they can spot 90 out of 10. Yep. Exactly. That's the thing. They all add up. If you want someone to proofread your Autcraft messages, I charge $0.03. We don't do pennies anymore. But yeah, 3 cents a word. So keep your messages short, I think, is the lesson to learn there. Hi, Autism Father. Thanks for all the work you do keeping the community safe. Charge me $200. Yeah, you do a lot of typing. That is a good price. Even OpenAI doesn't charge that much per word. Right, but they also add in a whole lot of those weird dashes. Gonna get you to proofread that? Nope. Wow, that's 3.2 cents. How are the words floating and posed like that? Yep, text displays. Give it a try. Interesting. Sorry, I'm updating my notes. Had somebody ask last night if we can mention their birthday today, even though they haven't been on in a while. Hopefully. Crankle signed on. Hi, chat. Nice skin. OpenAI keeps randomly using Hindi for my father. Interesting. That's weird. I'm better than AI. Correct ChatGPT mistakes. I believe it. I wonder if they programmed or told AI to use those dashes that they use a lot. Or if it just learned to do that on its own. Like it just sort of figured out that it wanted to use like the double dash stuff in all their text. Oh, so anyway, I wanted to show you guys. So if you create a text display, you can look at a surface and do TD attach. So if you stand way back and try to attach something, it's, unable to find a surface. You have to be within 5 blocks and have your crosshair on a surface. But you can also attach text displays like this and like this. If I do TD list and I pick example 3, for example, it's been selected, it will orient to the way that I'm facing. So if I do attach this way, then I can read it that way. And TD this way. So it's really super duper handy if you want to be placing these in any which way. If you want it to be on the side, you can attach it on the side or on this side, TD attach. You could do any which way. Sometimes people just want to have that sort of stuff. If you want to scale it up, you get 3 options, so we can make that much bigger. Just a few new options for people to be able to get their text displays. And of course, even though it says it's attached, it's not technically attached to the surface. It's just a way to get it to be much, much closer than trying to figure out the numbers on your own. Pup Fidget, hello, welcome in. So once I've attached it to that thing, I can move it and it fills in the numbers for me. So you can see it's 0.05 away from the surface of that block. If I want it to be even closer, I can move it up a little bit. Of course, it flips it, unfortunately. I got to change that, but now it's right in there. So you can I'll have to fix that, but yeah, you can make it even closer to the wall if you want to. We'll pick example number 1. TD move, and there, see 0.5, so we can move it 0.8. It'll get even closer. So you can move it around even after the fact. It's just that it puts it like 0.05 pixels away. I write my college work by hand to avoid getting flagged by AI. Nope, that's the way to do it. Zeddy, hello. My fave admin is Zeddy, Soulfire, Crankles, from me. That's, I mean, out of the choices you have, those are good choices. Hello, Sumps Up, welcome in. yeah, you shouldn't have preferences, but if it's all of them, that's okay. Hello, Jay. I'm doing well. How are you, sir? Hello. This is me. I hope you're having a good day. You're well? Good. Happy to hear it. My fave party pro is you. Yeah. Player of the week is soon. It is in 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Jay, I saw you playing some Fortnite earlier. Looked like you're having a good time. Fortnite's getting better. It's getting more fun. They still have to work on the skill-based matchmaking, but it's getting there. It's getting better. Did big things with Acorn, my assistant dog. Today, first time out alone with him and the wheelchair, and as always, he did flawless. Alerted on time and everything. That's awesome. That's we don't deserve dogs. Dogs are just so amazing. They are like top tier. If aliens were to come to Earth and say, "Can you show me an example of the best life you have on Earth?" I would be like, "Here's a puppy." What way do you think is the most efficient to move about 17 double chests filled with items? Eek. Just time. It's just gonna take you some time. Just carry it all. If I were you, I'd use shulker boxes, place a shulker, fill it up, carry it over, unload it, bring it back. Getting there, they're bringing the Infinity, but yeah, but it's going to be an altered Infinity Blade. It's going to be different than the original, so it'll still be overpowered, I'm sure, but hopefully better. I feel like I should get back into Fortnite, but the amount of space it takes up is nuts. It's a big, big game. There's a lot of files to it, especially if you pre-download the textures, which I do, so that it loads faster. I have a question. I killed another king, and I got a normal piglin zombie head. Is that normal? Yes. So the kings, the bosses in those fights have two heads technically because they have their head for the mob that they are, which is a zombie piglin or zombified piglin. But then they also are wearing the head, the boss head. So when you kill it, the boss head will pop off and you can pick that up, but also you might get the head for the actual mob that it is. So there's two that you could get. So yeah, sometimes you'll get a zombified piglin. Oh yeah, there you go. See, Zeddy's got a good idea. Remove the floor, put some hoppers into some shulkers. It'll fill the shulkers for you. You can have a plush as well. You should come to Autcraft this year so I can give you that drawing. I would love to. I went there in 2018, but flights, I'm afraid, with gas prices are about to become astronomical. So flying across the ocean might not be within my 20-year budget. Why is that your name? Autism Father? That's a great question. So the content all goes in the shoulder. Yep. Can you help me find my house? My name is Autism Father because I started writing about autism in 2010. In 2010, in 2010, oh, in 2010, I started writing about autism in blogs, in articles. People started coming to me to write about it. But the thing was, all the writers, all the people that shared about parenting and autism and all that sort of stuff, they were all moms. It was almost entirely like 99.99% of people writing at the time were moms because they had the time, they had the expertise, they are just simply more knowledgeable all around, for the most part. So I wanted to separate myself from that and write about it from a father's point of view. And so I thought about it and thought about it, and what better way to separate myself from all the others writing about this stuff was than to, make it very obvious. So I called myself Autism Father so that everybody knew straight out the gate that I was a dad writing about it instead of a mom. And the name just sort of stuck. I actually did really well. People actually came to read my articles and my blog posts and stuff because it was a fresh take. It was a different perspective. It was um, just not like all the other stuff that they had been reading. And it went well. And I amassed quite the audience. And when I had a bigger audience and Minecraft came out several years later on Xbox and became a household name on YouTube and consoles and stuff all over the place, I had already had a good readership, and they wanted a Minecraft server. So I started a Minecraft server, and I continued using the name. I've been using it ever since. So 2010 was when Autism Father, the name / brand, was born, which is 16 years ago now. Not bad. What about the cursed admins? Do they have a base mob? Yeah, they are. All of them are husks except for Cursed Soulfire, which is a skeleton because she fires a bow. So you might get a husk or a skeleton head when you kill the cursed admins. So lucky with Otcon in the UK. I live near Zed. Yeah, especially since like in the UK, like a flight is like $20. Like it blew me away when I was in Paris and I was like, how am I going to get to London? Like trains and cars and everything is so expensive. And then I looked up the flights and it was literally $20 to fly from Paris, France to London, England. In Canada, for me to fly in Ontario, I'm not talking about from province to province. I'm not talking about any sort of major distance. I'm talking like a 1 hour flight from where I am to Toronto, still in the same area, is $500. But in Europe, you can hop and skip between countries for $20 for a flight that's the same time. It is unbelievable. So when you like, I can understand why a lot of Europeans would be like, you're in Canada, why don't you just come over for this or that? That's why, because our flights are thousands of dollars to get from here to there. It's $500. It would be $500 for me just to get to Toronto, where our international airport is. So I would have to fly from here to Toronto and then get on a flight from there to Europe. So we're talking big, big money. Whereas once you're in Europe, you can get pretty much anywhere you want to for $20 to $50. I don't have a passport. Well, if you don't leave the country, you don't really need one. Although, I mean, these days in the US anyway, voting stuff is changing. So at some point, you might need one. The cooldown needs to be less. I want to hug everyone. Well, that's why, yeah, that's why we do group hugs. But if we make the cooldown too low, then people start spamming it just to be annoying. I've been on the Eurostar. It's nice, but also disappointing. It's the only true high-speed train in the UK. I mean, now, but maybe in the future, who knows? But also, but also, it's hard to justify getting on a high-speed train when you can take a flight for $20. Could you not book it through the European Airways? No, no, no. I gotta fly out of Canada on Canadian systems, so it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. But once I'm there, I can hop around pretty cheap. You only need an ID for that, not a passport. LOL. Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's changing some stuff. That's that's why I said voting is changing. So maybe at some point you might need a passport. Not right now. Anyway, Dante, hello, hello. Hope your Saturday is going well. It is going very, very well, sir. Need a drink of my Pepsi though. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend, sir. Speaking of Fortnite, Dante, quite the sweat. An amazing Fortnite player. Always a pleasure to play some games with you, sir. We are about 12 minutes away from Player of the Week. Still never played Fortnite. You know what? I'm gonna make a note of this before I go any further, because otherwise I'm going to forget. To do. All right. Note added. Always love the community games. Yeah. They're just so much fun. Playing with friends is top tier Fortnite, in my opinion. You're making a note of me not playing Fortnite? Right. Yeah, no. I just want to make sure I need to set. There's a transformation that happens. You have to set vectors and angles and axes and stuff to make this happen. And when you go to move it, it resets all that. So I got to make it persist so that if it's set this way, when you go to move it upwards or downwards, it stays in that rotation. I was talking to people about that earlier today. These text displays, like, I don't know if you guys realize how lucky you are to have these here, because even in single player, the commands, the things you need to do to make this work is not just a complicated command, but you need to know like college level mathematics to get vectors and radii and angles and stuff to make this stuff happen. They made these very like they Mojang and Microsoft made them very versatile to do a lot of different things like this, but to make it work, you don't just say, flip and position. You have to like set the vector and the angle like it's complicated. And so when I wrote all the code so that players can do this stuff, you can literally just walk up and do ed attach and presto, it's done all the work for you. So you're probably not going to find that on any other servers, at least for now. Maybe some will copy what we're doing once they see how great it is, but you'll be hard pressed to be able to do this anywhere else, including single player, because the code is just so incredibly complicated. So it's a really simple thing here, but you can do it. You have that power. Everyone excited for Player of the Week? Yeah. Is AF streaming? Yeah, it's not even. I will set my AC channel up after Player of the Week. My mic is also ready. Nice. You're getting to be professional. It's good to see. So y'all got my vote for president as long as there's mandatory Autcraft days. Nice. I mean, that's a shoe in, right? You're definitely going to be president if as long as you make mandatory Autcraft days, people will vote for you. I make cool and exciting Autcraft videos. You do. I agree. I enjoy watching your videos. Here we go. Hope everybody is having a good day. Did you have your pizza of the week? I had my pizza of the week. I don't think I would want to be the person to follow this term. Going to be a mess. Yeah, same. I agreed. Irreparable damage is being done. To follow that up, my dragon head is missing. Yeah. Those things are never missing. Just about every single day we have a player come to us in a panic that something is missing and we need to help them find it, and we just sort of give them a little bit of time, and within the hour they go, "Oh, never mind, I found it. It was in another chest." Like almost every single time. Did you add the person's B-Day to today's notes? Xander, I did, yes. He did indeed. I wonder if he's actually going to be on, because he hasn't been on in like almost 2 months. So I don't know why we're announcing it, unless he just wants to see it in a video or something. Um, but Pop Fidget, I appreciate the reminder. Thank you so much, because there actually was a very good chance that I would have forgotten. So luckily I didn't this time, but the reminder is always welcome, because there are lots of times I do. I still want Canada to just take over Washington, Oregon, and California. We'd be happy to. I've been to Washington and California. I've never been to Oregon, but I always wanted to because I'm dying to see those redwood forests. A lot to do. Yeah, tons to do. I'm going to be rewriting one of my plugins very soon. As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask you guys opinions. You don't want California? I mean, the weather's nice. I've been thinking about starting a brand new plugin from scratch, something new for the server that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time and never known how to do it. But now I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can make it happen, but I'm going to have to write a plugin to do it. How interested would you guys be in seeing a live stream where I'm bouncing back and forth between the code and the server to see like if my code works and see the progress and see the development of a new feature? For me, I think it would be pretty boring. I think I think that would be tedious and strange watching somebody write code. But I know there are a lot of people who do stream coding, so if you guys are down for that, I might be willing to turn on the old live stream and do some plugin work. It would make it help players understand. Yeah, the better the work. Yeah, as a programmer, I would say that would be a very interesting stream to watch. All right, maybe we'll make that happen. I'll need those server input messages to add to the parser. Which server message? Guys are coming for the children. What? Okay, good mushroom. Do the Wither fight in VR? That'd be amazing for the new plugin. Yeah. Well, you'll get those messages. You're a helper now. I love coding streams. Okay. Well, maybe we'll make that happen. Maybe this week. I got to take my kids to school, like college and stuff, and work this week. So I don't know what my schedule will be, but I will let you all know. I will make sure that everybody is aware when that will be happening, so you guys can come and check it out if you want to, and give me some feedback and advice and stuff, and see how it goes. I won't just spring it out of the blue. I won't just pop up and say, "Hey, guess what, guys? We're doing this." I will. I'll make sure that people are aware. I'm interested in learning how to code for Minecraft. It's definitely something you want to take a course in if you can. I taught myself, and it has taken a very long time. Quote unquote fun. Guessing we're not going to know what the plugin will be until you're streaming it. Pretty much. It's going to be a surprise, but it's something I've been wanting to add to the server for over 10 years. Where do I recommend visiting in Ontario? Manitoulin Island. Oops. There's a place north of Toronto, north of Barrie. It is right along the edge line of what we call the Great Canadian Shield. So a lot of Canada is bedrock. It's ancient, very, very solid rock. Like there's no earthquakes or anything. It's a shelf pretty much of bedrock. And along that edge is where the city part of Ontario is, where all the cities are. And then north of that is mostly forest and lakes. And right in the middle there is what we have called Manitoulin Island. And it is exceptionally beautiful. It is very, very peaceful. It is where most people from those cities go to go camping and fishing and to get away from the city. It is probably one of the best places in Ontario you could ever go to visit, because from there you're a hop, skip, and a jump from those cities, but also the wilderness. Hi, Jakey. Do you also have experience in that? You also have experience in that field. Which field? Programming? AF, can you make a plugin to make mannequin of mobs and animals? No, I cannot. Unfortunately, that's something only either Mojang can do for the actual game or modders. It modded Minecraft. You can make that stuff, but Mojang specifically said when we asked them, no, they don't intend on making mannequins for mobs. Do the admins know what it is? No, Zeddy's in the chat right now saying, I'm guessing we're not going to know what the plugin is. Literally just said that a couple lines above you. Even the admins don't know what I'm thinking. It'll be a surprise. You mentioned teaching yourself Minecraft coding. Yep. And don't you have experience in web development? Yeah, and I taught that to myself too. The only thing I learned in a course by like professionals and stuff was radio broadcasting. Everything else I know is self-taught. Are we at? We are 4:00. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Player of the Week. I taught myself web development. I got a job. Somebody hired me for it and handed me a textbook on Cold Fusion. And I read that and started working on code. And I worked there for a couple of years doing Cold Fusion websites. And then the entire internet industry collapsed. And then I had to teach myself PHP. So I learned PHP so I could do websites more cheaply. And so then I did that for a long, long time until eventually I got into blogging and I taught myself that. And then people wanted a safer Minecraft server, so I taught myself that. Cold Fusion is brutal. Yeah, it was rough. I do not like Cold Fusion. Lenny rocks. Is Lenny talking to me and I'm just not noticing it? Gets the bacon out. Oh, hi, Bessie. No, just wanting to say my name. Okay. But yeah, Cold Fusion was not fun to learn on my own. Literally, a textbook put into my hands said, "Here, I'm hiring you, but you need to learn this in like the next month and start building websites." And I did. Hermie, just do warp. But yeah, I taught myself Cold Fusion, PHP, HTML, JavaScript, and then from there, I taught myself, I guess the command block commands are kind of a language ish, and then Java, so I can make my own plugins. So I'm putting in the chat. We have a display set up in the TARDIS at Warp Player of the Week. You can see how the text display is attached to different surfaces and how it looks at double. That's supposed to be double scale. But anyway, we want to show the players that you can now use these text displays in more meaningful ways. So if you want to put it up against the wall, but also once it's attached to the wall, also just because it's called attach doesn't mean it's stuck. You can still use TD move to adjust it. Attach just makes it easier to get it against the surface so you can get it just how you want it. Hello, Cookie Thief. Welcome in with the 6-7. We were talking about that emote today, actually. When I first made that emote, it was used a lot in other channels because not many of the channels had a 6-7 emote, and 6-7 was like really, really big at the time. But it's picking up again. People are using it in other channels quite a bit. It's been used like 500 times in channels other than my own channel. So pretty funny. If people like it, people like it. I was talking to Skylord on the server a few weeks ago. Didn't recognize his name at first. We'd love to see what you all are doing with the new item displays, text displays, and mannequins. We will continue to update and evolve these to do even more. Someone deleted my 6-7 message and Go Boom stream. Wasn't even spamming. Some people really, really don't like it, and that's okay. But at the same time, I would argue let people like what people like. Like, if it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't impact you, you're not losing money over it, it's not causing you physical pain, it doesn't ruin your life in any way. Somebody just likes something that's, in your opinion, kind of dumb. Let them. I mean, it's not going to damage you in any way. You know, cats like laser pointers. Keep some stuff like some stuff. That's the way it is. All right. I think that's all I had to announce. I didn't have anything in my notes other than the text displays, and I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something. But if it wasn't in my notes, then I don't know. I'm overthinking it now, but I don't think there's anything else. I feel like there's something else, but there's nothing else. Now we got a group hug thing going on. Let's do group hug. Look at that. We need 2 more people on. By the way, Chooch, thank you for the bits, even though wasn't me that said it, you know. Birthdays, was it the thing Pup Fidget mentioned? I know you said, well, no, there's somebody wants their birthday announced at Player of the Week, even though they're never on anymore. It was Space Door caught it, but somebody joined right afterwards. Look at that. We're at 68 players. And Chooch is doing it again. How long till we start what? Let's announce the birthdays for the week. Chooch is goated. Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong. Thank you, Chooch, for the 6 and the 7 biddies. I feel like just saying thank you for the 6-7 biddies is enough to trigger another 6-7 biddies. So thank you for not doing that, Chooch, because we could be here all day. I'll just stop if that starts. I'm just gonna be like, thank you, Chooch, and that's the end of. No, don't do it. Kermit, we have started. We are talking. This broadcast is happening. Do you see it on the server? We can ping pong it. No, Chooch, no. I need to copy and paste the name since they're not on because they're never on. Starting with today, April the 18th, everyone, please wish a happy birthday to XD the Great. Just saying. You know music theory, you'll know that the 6-7 for music theory is Lati. So that's the other thing, Jakey. Not necessarily with music, but there's just those numbers come up a lot. Like, I will just be in casual conversations with people. I will be checking out other people's live streams or conversations happening on social media, anywhere, and those numbers come up a lot. When somebody asks, you know, how would you rate this song? How would you rate this quote? How would you rate this game? Guess what numbers come up most often? Teaching math is so hard, I bet, Kahoo. those numbers are, they've been there. They've always been there, and they always come up so much. But ever since this meme started, now it's obvious, and people are upset about it. But you can't escape it because they've always been popular. Dat Mort 79. Hello, I have autism spectrum disorder. Welcome in, welcome in. We're playing on Autcraft right now, the server for autistic people and their families. If you're into Minecraft at all, the server might be of interest to you. We have 72 players on right now on Autcraft. This server has been here since 2013. I'm autistic myself, and I have a son who's autistic as well. Most of these people here are either autistic or parents or both, or have somebody in their family who's autistic. Queen Mitz, hello, hello, hello. Ingramshaw, welcome in. Does that imply that it was just a really lazy meme? I don't know about that, but yeah. Did you notice me in the ceiling? No, I'm no. Okay, we got to do the next birthday because all these people who are not watching the live stream have no idea why I'm taking so long. All right, the next birthday is in a few days. On April the 21st. Everyone, please remember to wish a happy birthday to River. Riva. Biff, I don't know if you ever heard of it, but many years ago, there was, before memes were a thing, it was before like the internet really made viral memes or any of that sort of nonsense, but there was a thing called the game, and the whole point was you tried to get people to think about the game, and if they thought about the game, then they failed the game. That was the whole game, was to not think about the game. But it's impossible to not think about the game when you say, not you making me lose it. That exactly, that's the same thing. That's the whole 6-7 thing, but for a different generation. And these things repeat, these things come up from time to time. These things, history has a way of repeating itself. And so, but the thing is, we have a very short-term memory. Generations don't have that sort of memory. And so we hear the 6-7 and go, it's stupid, it's meaningless, it doesn't even mean anything, why are people doing it? And it's like, we've done this before, right? The game started after my time, but you know of it, you've heard of it. I missed the game and learned about it much later. Yeah. So for all those people who are upset about this dumb thing, this lazy meme, this means nothing, stupid nonsense brain rot thing, it's not new, people. We've been doing this over and over and over again. It's just different now, but it's the same. I played 5 hours sports match today. Wow, I'm tired just thinking about that. Every time 6-7 gets on my nerves, I think about planking. Yeah, planking was a huge thing a few years ago. Oh my god, every video everywhere was somebody planking for some reason. So, yeah. So, again, for anybody who's in the chat or listening or anything or whatever, and you get really, really angry about these things, just remember it's been done. It's going to keep being done. It's going to be different. And ultimately, if it's harmless, if it doesn't hurt anybody, it's just something stupid and somebody finds it amusing, let them have their fun. Another group hug? Okay. I guess I'm taking too long. Moving on to April the 23rd, we have 2 birthdays. So, first up, everyone wish a happy birthday to Mickey. I love millennial humor. All humor is good humor. It's just it's a little bit different from place to place. Thank you, sons. Appreciate it. It's like a push up, but you do not move. Yeah, you literally just sit on your elbows. You just put your elbows to the ground and you make yourself look like a plank. Anyone else miss the Harlem Shake? Those were kind of fun. Those were fun to watch. Some of them came up with some really cool stuff. But it wasn't really a dumb, brainless meme. It was just sort of a dance that people got into and got repeated a bunch. Happy birthday. Thank you. When I was in 5th grade, my school did the Harlem Shake. That's awesome. Chooch! Sir, are you okay? What was that for? What did we do? Chooch coming in hot with 10 gifted subs to Derek's Potatoes. Mal got one. Lemon Ninja. Jen is a shark. Wow, I didn't even know Jen's ever been in here. Jakey gets one. MLX gets one. Those guys are here right now. Zunalilla, Aerosol, Erosi. I don't even know how to say that. Planet Plum gets one, and Haley gets one. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Chooch. I'm fully kitted for the fight. Good. The fight's happening very soon. I just got one more birthday to announce, and then Player of the Week, and then we are good to go. Oops. And finally, last but definitely not least, also on the 23rd, everyone wish a happy birthday to Silly Shark 72. That a 50% RNG roll? Pretty much. You got some people in there that I know that I am fairly confident have never been in here. Maybe they came like some of those names are from Matt's streams and Furry streams. So maybe they've come in here and just never really, I don't know. But we know who they are, so it's pretty cool that they got a sub. Jakey, thank you for thanking Chooch. Very kind of you. Very, very kind. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. Wanting to get it not practical to drive here in Canada. Dude, we have potholes here where I am that your tire doesn't fall in, your car falls in. And you think I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm being quite literally serious. I've seen cars bottom out. They drive into a puddle that they think is just a puddle, but it's a hole. And their entire front end just hits the concrete when their tires just drop into the thing. Scout, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Ozeron. Ozeron, no more ads for you. That's why I got SUV. Smart. I would if I could. To be a player of the week, all you really need to do is be a good human being. That's it. And that's exactly what we're looking at this week. Someone who is kind, friendly, positive, just a really good person to know. Scout, thank you for the Gigantify bits. I appreciate it. That's 30 bits to do that, by the way. Don't want to get stuck in the snow. I know. They don't patch them. They try, Biff, but the problem is, so the problem where I am is it's really, really cold. So we get a ton of snow. We get a lot of ice. And at this time of year, the temperature dips below freezing and then gets warm again. So you get rain in the day and you get freezing at night, and then rain in the day and then freezing at night with snowfall. But also, there's only one main road that goes through the city, and it's literally the highway that becomes a road and then becomes a highway again at the other side. So all the big, really, really heavy transport trucks are traveling this road over and over and over again. So between the freezing and the thawing and the water running, and then the freezing and the thawing and the water running and the heavy trucks, the roads fall apart like crackers. Like they just are so brittle, they just crunch apart and make gigantic holes over and over and over again. So they patch them, but then the next day, Chooch, thank you so much for the biddies. And I'm not saying the number again. Just in case you get any funny ideas. Heat the road with solar panels? Yeah. If only. This week, we have had a lot of players being very kind, very friendly, which makes our choice more difficult, but that's awesome. It's a fantastic problem to have. No ping pong, shoot. Why is in the POTW list one POTW was everyone? Every once in a while, at the end of the year, we will give the entire server player of the week. It's usually at the end of the year, but we feel like everybody deserves to have a chance to get it. But there's only 52 weeks in a year, so with 20,000 players, we can't possibly give one to all 20,000 people with only 52 weeks in a year. So at the end of the year, when all is said and done and everybody is doing a great job and everybody is being a great friend and a good community member, we feel like is worth just taking a moment to appreciate everybody for making Autcraft what it is. And so sometimes at the end of the year, we'll do our very last player of the week and announce that everybody is player of the week. It's usually a special AF head. It's the Autcraft head. There's a player called Autcraft, and I own that player, and we use that head. And yeah, it looks like me. Aussies don't have that problem, but respect for you. Yeah, I'm in northern Canada, so this time of year our roads are very brittle and fall apart. That'd be like 400 years. Yeah, yeah, 20,000. Yeah, that would be a lot of years. Hype train success. Thank you, Chooch. Thank you, Scout. Thank you for the hype train. I appreciate that so much. Head belonging to Autcraft account. Yep. Salt can wear it, and salt too, right? So constant plowing, their heavy machinery with their graders on there. Plus, they put salt down. They put down lots of sand. There's lots of water running and freezing and running and freezing, and it's a lot of things that add up. And our roads don't tolerate it very well. Hello, stats. How are you, sir? Hope you're having a good weekend. Is it still Saturday where you are? Or is it Sunday now, stats? I regret driving behind those trucks. It is the worst driving behind those trucks. You need to keep a good distance because, yeah, they will spit up a lot of rocks and debris and stuff at your windshield. Announce a player of the week. Do you think they're in this list? They could be in this list. Who do we think is player of the week this week? Only got like 70 something names to go through. Our player of the week is Stick with Stell. Congrats, Sticks with Stell. We do change credits 400, which is four credit because it goes by pennies. And mail send Stick with Stell. Congrats on being our player of the week. You've been awarded 4 credits. April 18th, 2026. Stick with Stell, friendly, kind, and positive. Still Saturday, 9:22 p.m. That's not bad. Just deserves so much. Yeah. That's what I love. Like a lot of times when we announce our player of the week, a couple people get upset, but usually a lot of people will be like, "Yeah, that makes sense because I've seen them a lot this weekend and they've been amazing." Chooch, by the way, thank you for the 30 bits to gigantify that. Is that the hype train emote that you got? Did you just unlock that? Because that's very death metal. Why can I not press W? Oh, I gotta go over to console because I don't have enough room. Like 3 more words. I need room for 3 more words. Here we go. Every week when we announce a player of the week, we know that some players get sad that it wasn't them. We understand. But remember, it's not a contest. It's just a reminder to be a good person. Make friends. Be a friend. That is the real reward. Wow, that's tough to say. And have a great week. So now it's time for the Wither fight. Do we have anybody doing the Wither fight? We got 3 admins here. I don't know if anybody's doing the Wither fight. I don't see any announcements. Not sure how I'm going to translate those into AC though. That was a mouthful. Yeah, the real reward. Um, anybody? Anybody doing the Wither fight? No? Am I doing the Wither fight? Usually, oh, Twix. I love Twix. When you guys eat Twix, do you eat one side first and the second, and then the different side? And if so, do you eat left side first or the right side first? You'll do it? All right, thanks, Ozeron. I'll do the Wither fight. It's nice. You guys are so nice. You guys offer. Soul disappeared. Maybe Soulfire is going to take it. You want to do the fight? You want to run the fight? I can do it. Nope. Unfortunately, they are set up in such a way. Here, I'll show you, actually. You guys get a little behind the scenes sneak peek if you want. This is our command center for the fights. In here is where we do our announcements, but you can also see in here we have all these. These are our command tools. So you can see command tool, command tool, command tool. There are commands attached to these heads, and when you click it, it does whatever it says. So a Zoglin stack will be a stack of Zoglins. I can just went to Modrex. I have 2 boys, so when I open a Twix, one takes left, the other one takes right. Has to be done. Apparently, there was some sort of study done or something where people asked or checked or something. They actually studied the Twix bars, and apparently one side is always different from the other, and people always do have a preference, which is pretty wild. One of my TikTok was fake. What was in your TikTok? Which TikTok video are you talking about? It's really awesome. Looks like fun to do. So can I do no? Okay. So as I was saying, these are all command tools that do the spawning. These won't work for players. The command block room. Oh, no, that's real. That's the darkness. Here, I'll show you that too. So we have. I'm back and I can hear again. Yay! Good. Yay for hearing again. So we do Party Pro. We do 2 different fights. We have a Wither fight, which we use these for. And then we have the darkness fight, which is what those command blocks are for. The command blocks one is automated. It runs entirely on its own. That doesn't need us to be there at all. For these have commands attached to them. So let's say an evoker sheep, for example. I can put this in my hand and do CT info, and it'll show you all the commands that are attached to it. So it will spawn a Minecraft sheep with an evoker on it in each color. So all 16 colors will get one. And all these things, but they are also permission based, so only admins can use them. So even if you got in here and took all these and brought them back to your base, that you couldn't use them. Players cannot use them. Pick the bad arena. That's funny. Got a question for you. It'd be easier for you to TP to me. Wow, that's way over the limit. I muted your stream so I could record. Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Save space for my wall. Be having copper golems. I was wondering if there's any problem with this amount. Yeah, so there are exceptions to our mob rule. So, like, if you have a farm, you can have more. If you're breeding stuff, you can have more. Stuff like that. If you're going to have these turn into statues and place them around, I don't mind if you have more. I'd rather you do 10 at a time. I'd much rather there just be 10 done at a time, since they do cause lag, but I think this would be fine. As long as it's not permanent, taking forever. Oop. So anyway, back here. Yeah, so Kermie, I was handy. Oh, hi. Welcome in. You're on the server right now, aren't you? So we have these command tools which we use for the wither fight, which you can see, but then if you go through here for our darkness fights, through the lava, you can come back here. The darkness fights are automated, so all the command blocks will run all of those same commands, but in a specific order at a specific time. And some of these are still used even in just regular wither fights. So our cursed fun mummy, cursed crankles, cursed soulfire, skeleton king, panda king, all this stuff is back here. So it's a combination for the bosses. The bosses are back here: zombie king, pumpkin king, and when they spawn, you'll see redstone blocks appear underneath, which means that they're active. Pardon me. Oh, there's one now. Look at that. The pump. No, the zombie king is now active. You can see that it has all of this stuff. So if we were to go back in there, let's just do this to be faster. We should see Zombie King health bar. There it is. So the Zombie King is now running around and active and has his powers because those command blocks became activated. Always wondered how it worked. Never thought it was like that. Yeah. Also, you know, it's pretty funny. Back on the server now. All right, get in here and fight. It's pretty funny because Minecraft time set midnight craft. That didn't work. Is it daytime? Oh, it's my own time. I don't remember what I was going to say now. It's a combination. Oh, I was going to say a lot of players go back there and find those command blocks and they feel like they've gotten into like a forbidden area, a place that they should not be. But like if we didn't want you to be there, then you would not be able to get in there. We open it up and we make it accessible so that players can see how it all works. Even admins can't access command blocks. You have to have operator status. You have to have operator status on a server to even access a command block. So they're pretty safe. Nobody can. You have to be pretty much. They can be very, very destructive, even if you don't mean for them to be. If you don't know what you're doing, you can do some very, very bad things to a server with them. So they are very, very secure and locked down. Need to study? All right. Good luck. Study and shoot. I know you're gonna be. You're like super brilliant anyway, but definitely make sure you know it top to bottom, back to front, upside down. Oh, check it out. New badge earned. Thank you so much for the 5. Is that 500 bits? I can't count. 500 bits. I just earned the 25,000 Dragon Ball bits badge. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that badge. My dude. Well done. Thank you so much for that. That's insane. I honestly, I thought it would be years and years before anybody got that. Absolutely wild. Well, thank you for the 10 gifted. Thank you for lots and lots of bits. And thank you for being here and all the work you're doing on that chat mod. I know Fun Mummy's son reiterated his need to have a chat filter mod in the forums today. So I get a feeling that once you get that thing done and dusted and ready to go and available to the players, it's going to be super duper popular. Hello, Matt. Thank you so much for checking in. Still here. Nearly 600 New Zealand dollars in bits. Yep, that's wild behavior. Absolutely insane behavior. I think we're just gonna have to ban Chooch. It's the only way we can get him to stop. I'd feel bad at like if he goes like bankrupt. They can be available to players or just staff Chooch? Is it designed for staff? It's gonna I think he's doing it for staff. It's easier to put in all the bells and whistles and make everything work in all scenarios and then dial it back for individual players, right? Let's do that. Yeesh. For now, it's designed for staff. Yeah, it's easier to make it so that it does everything that the staff would ever need it to do and then dial it back so that players... Because the notifications that staff get, the players don't get, so it just won't be there, right? Like, you don't have to do anything extra. It just will never come up. Whereas if you build it for players and then have to add in all that stuff afterwards, it's... But yeah, like some stuff will have to be adjusted, right? But it, like I said, it's easier to build all of it and then dial it back than it is to make the basics and then add in stuff for staff. What rank should I work towards as a non-ranker? Netherite? So yeah, build up your credits, keep building your credits, and be patient, because when we have holidays, which we will have, okay, we'll have a big sale in June. We will have another big sale in August. We'll have another big sale in October, and then we'll have another big sale in December for Christmas. So save, save, save. Be patient. And if you have enough in June, you'll be able to get Netherite much cheaper. And if you don't have enough, that's okay, because then you just wait for July. And then in August, we'll have another sale. So just keep playing the game. Keep racking up those points. Save up. Get yourself a rank. And you'll never have to spend a penny. That's what we love to see from players. We just want to have you hang around and have fun and be a part of the community. Be a friend. Be safe. Be fun. Be friendly. You get rewarded for it. You get actual real world currency instead of spending money on a rank. You just get the credits and you get to use that instead. Let's do, because I feel like this is really dark. There we go. Ooh, that's really bright. Sorry if that's blinding. Your eyes will adjust. Sheesh. The Dragon Slayer. It's one of the custom bosses that I have designed. This year, by the way, has really escaped me. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the year already, but I do have plans on adding more bosses. So more bosses shall come. Hamster Wheel 2.0, pretty much. More bosses are on their way. They will be added to our fights soon. Hi, Handy. Or Captain Jakey, welcome in. Get in there and fight. And again, we do these wither fights, these community fights, because we encourage players to fight together, not against each other. So there's no PvP on Autcraft. There's only, you know, save the server, make it safe together, work together, be a team. What we love to see, and it's what we encourage out of everybody. Just a random shulker bullet flying around. If you're wondering why there's a lot of pandas, check this out. Like a gladiator arena. Sword, shield, riding a panda. Ready to fight. In the forum on our website, as well as in the Patreon Discord, we do offer an area for players to make suggestions on what they'd like to see in these fights, including bosses. So if you have any ideas, obviously I have some ideas. I'm going to be adding them this year. But if you have any ideas that you think would be fun, some of these are ideas from players, like the Ocean Prince. One of our players wrote a story, a whole story about the Ocean Prince on Autcraft, and gave it lore and everything. And it was a really fun story. And I thought, you know what? Let's do that. And they signed on a few months later, and sure enough, they go into a wither fight, and there is the Ocean Prince exactly as they described it. Get a desktop computer, and then put in a pet hamster. Put his cage next to my computer case and attach a big hamster wheel to the side. So it looks like he's powering my PC. I fully support that idea. We have 3 Pumpkin Kings. So in the darkness fight with those command blocks, it's because it's automated, you'd only ever get one boss. You would only ever get one set of, you know, like a group of monsters. And then it would move on. Because that's what a command block does. But when we do these fights, like Player of the Week, because we use those command tools in our hands ourselves, we can place as many as we want. So we can have multiple bosses, since we have over 50 players fighting. There could be multiple bosses happening in any order we want, any time we want, anywhere we want, which is pretty cool. That's the sort of thing that we're going for. Matt, are you still there? I know you did the still here button. I'm guessing your stream is done. Are you off to do your thing you got to do this weekend? You said you had to be done at 4. It's after 4. Wow. Time really is flying. I hope whatever it is that you're doing this afternoon goes well and you have a great Saturday. Speaking of the Ocean Prince, he's on fire right now, but he's in there. That's the Ocean Prince bopping up and down around in there on his Elder Guardian. Look at this. Got a bunch of fish. The Ocean Prince, by the way, spawns these little guys everywhere he goes, and he also hits you with lightning, and he throws his trident at you. So he's pretty powerful. And if you see his health bar at the top, he's taking a ton of damage, but the health bar isn't going down very fast. That's by design. We want people to work together to fight him. He should not be an easy kill. We want players to work together. So technically, you could defeat him all on your own if you were persistent enough, if you had enough time. You wanted that badly enough, but ideally, you would have multiple people. Polar bears and squids all over the place. The Elder Guardian has been destroyed, and now we just have the Ocean Prince on his feet. Still hitting people with lightning, still spawning in the little baby drowns. But his health bar is really low. Bit of a lag spike there. To be expected when you have this many people doing this much fighting. And we went back up to 56. People are coming in, not leaving. Love to see that. And there he goes. Somebody got the Ocean Prince head. Don't let the Spider King out. He's on the move. Oh, spider bees. Watch out for the spider bees. We got Spider King leaving spider webs everywhere. As part of my learning how to code myself, I have been getting much better at it. I've been rewriting a lot of my code because my old code is absolutely terrible. It works, but it's terrible. But I'm also getting more ideas for new bosses because of the stuff I'm learning how to do with the code. So we're going to have some fun stuff. Instead of just having command blocks hit people with lightning, which is fun, we can start to have mobs that can place cobwebs like this and do other cool things. So look forward to some bosses doing some stuff that you never dreamed of before. Need help getting my diamond sword back. It was called Handy's Diamond Sword. Where did you drop it? Did somebody pick it up? Oh, Axo Channy, I found your sword. There you go. Look at that. You don't even have to, you didn't even have to say anything. Somebody's already found it and messaged you in game to tell you. When I tell you guys, when I try to explain to people how amazing Autcraft is because of the players, this is what I'm talking about. Just need to print out my notes, and my printer is dead. Isn't it insane how still to this day it's cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to get new ink for your printer? And that printers die so always. Like, I don't understand how we've built shuttles that could go around the moon. We built shuttles that can go around the moon and orbit and slingshot around and come back and enter the atmosphere at 4 times the surface of the sun and land peacefully in the ocean. But we can't make a printer that lasts longer than a year. What are we doing, people? You need to study, not watch stream. You tell him, Super Panda. Right? What are you doing, Chooch? Greedy corporations. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, makes no sense. The only reason they do that is to get more money out of you. If your printer dies or you need more ink, then you gotta pay big bucks. And it's just not right. Coding plus studying plus watching stream. I think you're supposed to be doing one of those three, Chooch. Just one. Oh. That player just avoided death. That was a totem of undying going off. Save their life. I'm afraid of microtransactions in video games. Yeah, those are annoying too, but that's tiny in comparison to what these printer people are doing. Plus, you get the choice. With a printer, you need to get a new one if you need to print stuff. You don't get a choice. So many times, even when he wants to sleep. Yeah, Chooch is bad. Maybe we do need to ban him for his sake, so he saves his money and he gets sleep and does his studying. It's for your own good, Chooch. I found a printer with a ton of ink from the 90s? That can't still be good. No. We won't ban you. I have to go now. Bye. All right, Handy, Captain Jakey, whatever you want me to call you in the game, in the chat. Thank you for being here for Player of the Week. I hope you have a wonderful night. I'm glad you got your sword back. You would just create a new account. True, Zeddy. Yeah, we can't. The Chooch can't be stopped. No ban, you need side-eye. I can't side-eye the king of side-eye. Just, he's immune. Goodbye. Hopefully see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you for being on. Taking part in all of this madness. Found about 4 cameras from the 70s. Oh, man. Are those like the old Kodak cameras that have like the square flash bulb that you put on top? You could take exactly 4 pictures with it because it's a square and it has 4 flashes, on one on each side. I used to have one of those. Super Warden. He just come back as LeChooch 6'7". You're probably right. That wouldn't surprise me at all. There you go. You're giving him ideas now. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So got a while before I could change my name. Oh, my goodness. Biff, you're bad. See what you did? Now we know what Chooch is going to be changing his name to. What is the Super Warden? So, again, because we usually have 50 plus people in here fighting, the Warden, while strong, died very, very quickly. When you got this many people all smacking it with spears and overpowered swords and stuff, they died really fast. So I made a Super Warden that has an insane amount of health, but he's also much stronger. But he also, wherever he walks, he puts Skulk under his feet. So he can walk clear across plain old surfaces that usually, like, he's in the air right now because he generates flooring as he walks. So he's super strong, super durable, and he generates Skulk as he goes. Do you make a stronger Warden when the Warden is strong? The Warden's not strong enough to fight this. This is a problem. So the Wardens in the world, like if you go to an ancient city and a Warden spawns, that's a regular Warden. You'll have to deal with a regular Warden on your own, which is fair. See ya, Kermie. Thank you for playing. Thank you for rejoining too. It's good to have you back. I'm glad you got back on. We will get you your Christmas stuff, by the way. I was going to do that last night, but I got distracted, so I will get that to you tonight. We'll get your Christmas stuff. So yeah, individually, when you're out in the world just exploring and stuff, you still have to fight a regular warden. They are strong, but in a community fight with 50 players, we decided to give them a bit of a buff. Studied, fixed code. Wait, you're not done. You can't have it studied for like what, an hour, 50 minutes. Now I just need to print the stuff. I have an idea of a live stream. You could do a VR headset on AC and go into Resource World and have one of those pain vests that give you a shock whenever you take damage. You just want to see me suffer. You want to see me suffer 2 times. Once by trying to navigate the world in VR, and the second by having a pain vest. I think I appreciate the suggestion, but that's going to be a no. I already do have the notes I need. I just need to compile it into an info sheet, which I am allowed to bring to my exam. It's funny how much testing in particular has changed in the schools now that everybody has a supercomputer in their pocket and access to AI and like literally everything available 24/7. So like they've had to change up the ways that exams even work. Like you can't just ask yes or no, is this that, or what's the answer to this. You have to really get people to think and write out, their thought processes and explanations for why they think whatever. And here are the cursed admins. The cursed admins were added to the server in 2020 as a means of giving players even more to do, but also some lore that they can kind of have some fun with. The cursed admins are from an alternate Autcraft where everything is terrible, and they've decided they want to come here where everything is amazing and they want to take over. So the community comes together in these fights and fights back the cursed admins. But being admins, they have special powers. So some of them are spawning these little babies, and some of them are spawning sniffers, and some of them have abilities to slow you down, and some of them hit you with lightning, and they all do different things, and it's a lot of fun. Inventory's clear when you want to add. Sounds good. I will do that. Having difficulty writing after getting rear-ended last year. Eesh. Yeah, that's not fun. Last May, as a matter of fact, we're coming up on 1 year, I totaled my car by slamming into the side of a pickup truck. Not my fault, by the way. It was their fault, 100%. Happened right in front of a police car, too. The police officer's like, normally I'd have you guys file a report, but don't worry, I got you. You don't have to file anything. I saw the whole thing. I'll do it. And yeah, but luckily we were not hurt though. So just without a car for a while. Kit Kat got a shiny zombie. Tortoise got a shiny zombie. Biff got a shiny zombie. Lots of shinies dropping. Look at these little baby admins. They're so cute. It's the most important part, not getting hurt. Yeah, we were very lucky, very fortunate. I was able to turn the wheel as I hit the brakes. I was just turning the wheel in the opposite direction that the pickup truck was going. So instead of hitting it flat on the side, we kind of had a bit of an angle, just enough of an angle that it softened the blow significantly. So even the airbags did not deploy. Totaled the car though. The car was 100% a goner, but the airbags didn't deploy, which means that we didn't get jostled around too much, and we didn't get too much of an impact, and we were okay. I got rear-ended while I'm on the way going back from school by another student. So they're at fault then. If you get rear-ended, I think it's the same in the US. In Canada, being rear-ended is always the other person's fault. It doesn't matter what you do. You can slam on the brakes. You can be on the highway doing 100 miles an hour, slam on the brakes, and if the car behind you rear ends you, it's their fault. Because they're supposed to be at a safe distance, going at a safe speed. They are supposed to be able to handle any situation. The only way to fight is with a dash cam. So yeah, but even then, like I said, like if you're like they teach you right to stay a certain distance behind. If like at a certain speed, you stay a certain distance behind, so that whatever happens in front of you, you have the ability to avoid or slow down or something. USA is pretty much the same unless the person in front is caught. Yeah, unless you're an absolute jerk. Yeah, unless you are going way out of your way to cause it. But like if you aren't paying attention and something happens in front of you and you slam on your brakes and then the person behind you hits you, it's the person behind you's fault because you did what you had to do to avoid an accident. They should have too. But the fact that they were going too fast or following too close or whatever, it's their fault, not yours. If you get rear-ended, you're automatically at fault here. What? If you get rear-ended, you're automatically at fault. How? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'll just go around running into the back of everybody. That's I'd be out there playing bumper cars. I need a new car. I just get to go run into the back of somebody if it's their fault. I think you might have it backwards, Jakey. Otherwise, you're living in Bizarro world. The rear person would be more likely to blame. Yeah, so true. It is, yeah, the USA is kind of messed up in some places. But generally, if you get rear-ended, it's a pretty hard sell to say that you have any sort of blame. You're free. You're free, little guys. Still moving real slow though. That's literally what other people have told me, so I'm confused now. My advice is look it up. Don't go by what other people tell you. Do your homework. Look it up. Find out for yourself what the truth is before you ever hit the road and that sort of thing happens to you. It's good to know what is the truth. I'm always confused. Same. Hi, Crumble. Welcome in, Crumble. Sunday for you, right? How's the future? The truth is out there. Okay there, Mulder. Pretty much would need a dash cam footage proving the car in front slammed on the brakes with no need. Yeah, you would have. It would be a pretty tough sell, and even then, you would have to have a pretty clear view and very, very clearly. Yeah, it's tough, but there are times where the person in front of you did cause it. You would just have to really be able to prove it. Sons is still here. Quidmits is still here. I appreciate you guys so very much. Highly recommended dash cam. Yes, a good one. Get a good one. Ask your driving instructor. That's a great suggestion. Yes. Hope you would get that. Of course. You know, I used to moderate the IRC chat for the X-Files. Should I change my name to Famous Shrimp Ramen? I was thinking of that when you rear end someone, it's their fault because they were being dumb. You have a front and rear dash cam? Smart. I feel like, you know, in this age, this new age of like electric cars that have the cameras on all sides, I feel like every car, regardless of whether it's electric or not, any car made in 2026 or later should just have cameras built in at this point. Like, why have seatbelts built in? Why have airbags built in? Why have all these things built in for your safety and not cameras when so many cars have them already? At some point, they like lawmakers should just make it mandatory. Car manufacturers have to put in camera in the front, camera in the back, record at all times. Like, take it out of our hands and just have it there. It would just make the legal system so much more simple in terms of, you know, determining who's at fault and what happened during an accident. Someone nearly ran into us yesterday. Oh my gosh. That is scary. I'm sorry, Crumble. Been there, done that last year. I totaled my car. I know exactly how that feels. No recording. Recording should be optional. I suppose. I mean, you should be able to disable it, but I think by default it should be there and be happening unless you want it disabled. But like the seatbelt and airbag, those stuff are kind of you have them, and that's that. Most rear end accidents happen because traffic slowed or stopped and the driver in the back wasn't paying attention. True. Yep. And it's 100% their fault. Apparently, lawmakers are making it mandatory to have an automatic kill switch on all vehicles, but I don't know how true that is. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that automakers can do better. But like I just think of like all that time that police officers and the system, the legal system has to spend just trying to figure out who caused what during an accident. So much money and time wasted when so many cars have like multiple cameras on them already. Just build them in. It's not like cameras are extra expensive. They don't have to be high quality, you know, top of the line 4K super zoom cameras. They just have to get a picture of what's happening. They don't need to spend a fortune on having those things added when some manufacturers are already putting in cameras on all sides of the car. Supposedly you get rid of terrible drivers and the car would detect bad driving and turn it off. That's not a thing. I could imagine like a kill switch if you fall asleep while driving or pass out while driving or something like that. But terrible drivers is kind of an impossible thing to determine automatically by a system. Some cars do have a kill switch that people add on. Yes, there are such things, and they are very good things to have. But like I said, it's more so to deactivate the car if you are no longer responding or present. Kind of like self-driving cars. Most of them, as far as I know, you still have to have your hands on the wheel or put your hands on the wheel every so often, every few seconds or whatever. You have to indicate to the car that you are still alert and paying attention. You can't just have the self-driving car do all of the work all the time. Crumble coming in with an 80 stream watch streak. Absolutely incredible. I can't believe I've even done that many streams, much less that you've been here for that many in a row. And you're not even on this side of the, you're not even in the same day that I am. It's Sunday where you are, and I'm still on Saturday, and you're still making it to all my streams. Thank you so much, Crumble. That is amazing. They could even be Timu cameras if they have to. Right. Yeah, they could be garbage cameras. As long as you can tell that that's a car and that's a car and this one did that. That's all you really need. Saw that there was a car that detected tiredness. Yes. And it thought that all Chinese, not all Chinese, but there was a Chinese man who did report that. Their car was not responding because it thought that they were tired because their eyes were so closed. Not all Chinese people, but it did do that. Yeah. Not all cars because it's built into a Tesla if you don't touch the wheel. Yes. Yeah, that's what I said. It's not all of them. Most of the self-driving cars that are coming out have some way of forcing you to prove that you're still awake and paying attention. But not all of them. Not all of them. But it's a good idea. You should be paying attention. It's your responsibility. You need to be in charge of your safety and the safety of people around you and not leaving it up to a computer system that's looking out cameras and could get mistaken. If you have your self-driving auto-enabled whatever thing and the car hits somebody or does some damage, you're at fault. So tired of seeing Tesla and all this. Well, electric cars are the way of the future, and considering all what's happening with gas prices now, I think that's only going to push it further into electric and sustainable energy, and that's a good thing. But still going to take time, and it's still going to be far more than Tesla. Tesla is talked about way more than it should be, but there are a lot of really good electric vehicles, especially in China right now, that are far, far superior to Tesla. Yeah, the F-150 Lightning is very, very good too. It is outperforming most other trucks, much less electric trucks. So it's still very new. This technology is still very new and has a long way to go, but it's going to get better and better and better. There are better. Most of the electric vehicles are better than Tesla. That's the thing. And if China ever gets permission to start sending their vehicles into North America and selling them here, that's going to tip the balance and change things a lot. Thank you, Pop Fidget. Thank you. They are mass producing really incredible electric cars really, really very fast in China. And they're just not allowed to sell them here yet when pigs fly. But that's good. That's good news for us. It means a cleaner, safer world. It means more efficiency. It means cheaper prices on getting around. But it's going to take some time because even though electric cars are better for the environment and better for all that sort of stuff, it still requires you trashing the car you have now, which is a big environmental burden. So for all those people who are like, I'm going to get electric, and then they get rid of their old car, that's still a big hunk of metal and chemicals and things that they are basically just putting back into a pit somewhere in the earth and polluting the world. So there is a trade-off, and if it's not done properly and it's not done over time, you can do more harm than good very quickly. But over time, going to electric, this is a lot of bats in here. It's a ton of bats in here. And no players. Tesla was good when they were the only player, but for now, yeah, now they're pretty much falling behind. Most other electric vehicles are better and even cheaper now. State also has big oil industry. Yeah, well, Canada is like the third biggest oil provider of the world. A lot of people don't know that. Canada is massive when it comes to oil. Everyone made fun of electric. Now they're kind of regretting it. And not everyone. Not so forward thinking, future prepared people were making fun of electric. But it was very clear for a long time that electric is the future. It's the way to go. You can't keep taking oil and burning it and think the world is going to be fine forever. That's just not a thing. It's not possible. A lot of people still don't think electric cars will last. I know. It's kind of silly. Like I said, oil is not a limitless resource. The world will run out if it continues to be used. That's just math. Whereas electricity is a renewable resource. It's just literally created out of thin air. The sun, the wind, the water. You could create energy. So you can't create oil. Posting some instructions in the Discord. Sounds good. I'm in the US. My state is a very big oil state. So that's why our gas prices are high. That doesn't make sense. If it was a big oil industry, you would have more oil and it would be cheaper. Makes no sense because we have wind farms. There's some very colorful signs there, famous human. I like that. The only complaint I have about my electric car is that it has very limited range since it's older. Yeah, so that's the problem right now that they're having to still figure out is batteries only live for so long, they degrade, but also temperatures, right? Like I explained, our roads fall apart because of the temperatures here. So if you get 400 miles on a battery, well, guess what you get when it's minus 40? Not much. You don't get much range because batteries do not like the cold. Hey RJ, thank you for checking in. So the battery issue is a big one, and it's preventing a lot of the technology from moving forward. But when and if, which I think they will figure out someday, they'll figure out a way to make batteries not die over time, and they'll figure out a way to regulate the temperatures better so that the extreme temperatures don't damage them as much. Not driving is a smart choice? Pretty much. Pretty much. Don't change your car until it's functionally indistinguishable from used wooden fireplace. Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of people are just dumping their cars and moving to electric and thinking that they're helping the environment, but they've just put a big old pile of scrap metal and fluids and stuff into a scrap yard. What's the time for me? 5:15 p.m. Same as the server. 5:15 p.m. on a Saturday evening. I was doing a concert with the new festival mode. Let's go. I got to play that. I do not sing. I will not be singing in the new festival mode, but I do love playing the other instruments in festival mode. I don't think I could do it. Yeah, why not? I want to see you. I want to see you sing, RJ. I want to see you sing all the hits in Fortnite. For me, it's 11:15. Yeah, in the UK, in some of Europe, it's 5 hours difference. Weather's a factor for your tire pressure too. When it's hot, your tire pressure is lower. When it's cold, your tire pressure is higher. Would it be the other way around? I'm not really sure which way that is, but for here in Canada where I am, we have winter tires, which the rubber is softer and it allows for your tire pressure to be lower. So your tires basically smush into the ground more. That's the technical term, by the way. But your tires will grip the ice and the snow better by having the softer rubber and less air pressure. So it looks a lot like your tires are getting flat all the time, but they're not. It's just the way that the snow tires are. Yeah, they added karaoke. You can sing the songs now, not just play the guitar or the bass or the drums. You can actually sing with your microphone. Heat pump technology helps a lot. My range drops significantly when I run the heater on, but newer cars, the heat pumps get nearly the same range. Yeah, that's what I mean. So they're getting there. They're figuring stuff out. Obviously, to keep a battery heated, it's going to take even more electricity. So there's a trade off. You're getting more range, but you're losing range because you're using the electricity in a different way. But science is pretty smart. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out better battery systems. They'll figure out better ways to maintain the temperatures. They'll figure out better ways to get the range even further. Sitting at my beach, waiting for the sunset. Ah, that's awesome. Wait, like IRL? Isn't it? Hasn't the sun set at 11 o'clock at night? I feel like it's kind of late for that. Fortunately, that means the EVs will only get more expensive. Yeah. Well, and then cheaper again, though, right? Like it'll get more expensive at first, and then as they become standard, as all EVs have better batteries and better systems, eventually it settles down again. But initially, yeah, for sure. In Minecraft, suddenly I don't have any nice beaches where I live. Same. I have lakes where I am, and some of them have kind of a beach, but it's not the same. It's not the same. All right, guys, it is getting late. I've already gone past my 2 hour mark. I'm usually done around 5. But I have been absolutely loving these conversations that we've been having. But I think it's time to call it for now. Um, I do need to get some stuff done. I started working on one of our existing plugins and decided I'm just gonna rewrite it. We've had this conversation many times before, but I realize that adding features in is harder than just starting the whole thing all over again. We are going to send off everybody to our good friend V. Verdux is another server owner I've known for quite some time, but didn't know that he streams, and he didn't know that I stream. So go figure. Which plugin? The birthday plugin. I have some ideas for the birthday plugin, but I can't make it happen right now without it being a super pain to do. So it's easier just to start over again and make it work better than it ever did. But anyway, keep an eye out. I will post in my Discord as well as staff and Patreon as well. I will let you all guys all know when I intend to do the programming stream. We'll do a Java plugin together. I'll tell you all what my plan is, what I'm hoping for, and we'll work on it together in stream if you guys are interested in that. So it'll be a little bit different, but I think it'll be fun. You get an insight into some of the stuff that I do that is a little bit outside of just player of the week or just building some stuff. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Chooch, once again for 500 and whatever. I'm not saying the numbers bits that you've been giving. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Scout, thank you for the gifted as well. That's not how that works. I didn't say the number. Mind powers. Yeah, I was thinking it. Oh.